The Baltimore Ravens made a statement in Week 2, and it wasn't just about getting their first win of the season. It was how they did it. A 41-point explosion against a Cleveland Browns defense that came in with all the hype, all the expectations, and all the physicality to shut down just about anyone. But Lamar Jackson and company had other plans. After a rocky Week 1, the Ravens needed to bounce back, and boy, did they answer. And if there's one person who's been there to witness it all from up close, it's long snapper Nick Moore, who joined the show to break it all down and gave us some amazing insight into what's happening behind the scenes in Baltimore. Let's start with the tone of this team. According to Moore, the vibe inside the locker room after Week 1 wasn't panic, it was about response. It was about understanding where things went wrong, knowing what needed to be fixed, and recognizing that one game doesn't define a season. And when Week 2 rolled around, the Ravens brought exactly that energy. The defense tightened up. Special teams made game-changing plays. And while the offense didn't dominate start to finish, they cashed in when it mattered, largely thanks to Lamar being Lamar. Now look, anytime Lamar Jackson takes the field, you know there's a chance for something spectacular to happen. But what we're seeing now, especially over these last 2 seasons, is a version of Lamar that's more refined, more complete, more surgical. He still has the speed, the explosiveness, and the jaw-dropping playmaking ability that made him the most electrifying player in the league. But now, he's pairing that with elite-level decision-making, pocket awareness, and leadership that's impossible to teach. Moore said it best, Lamar can do anything. And it's gotten to the point where even his teammates are trying not to get numb to how special he really is. Think about it. Since 2021, Lamar leads the entire NFL in games with 4 or more passing touchdowns, and he's done that despite missing over a dozen games. That's absurd production. And if that wasn't enough, he just became the NFL's all-time leader in passer rating, narrowly edging out Aaron Rodgers. Add to that his career rushing totals, which already put him above Michael Vick, and we're talking about a quarterback who's rewriting what the position even means. This guy isn't just elite. He's generational, and his teammates know it. Moore recounted a play from the Browns game. 3rd and long. Lamar gets flushed, starts scrambling backwards, defenders closing in, and somehow he spins out and fires a strike to Zay Flowers for the first down. It's one of those plays where any other quarterback is probably taking a sack, punting it away. But with Lamar, the play is never dead. And that's the kind of thing that lifts an entire locker room. It gives everyone, offense, defense, special teams, the belief that they're never out of a game, that every drive has a shot to end in 6 points. Now, it's not just Lamar making headlines. The Ravens' rookie class is getting tested early, and they're delivering. With Kyle Van Noy banged up and possibly missing time, guys like Mike Green are being thrown right into the fire, and John Harbaugh has taken notice. The head coach praised Mike's development over the course of the game, noting that his angles got sharper, his physicality showed up, and that he's clearly coachable. Moore echoed that, saying he's been working closely with Green on special teams, and what's impressed him most is Mike's hunger to learn. He didn't play much special teams in college, but he's attacked every opportunity in Baltimore like a vet, eager to soak up every detail. And Mike Green's not the only rookie making noise. Malachi Starks has been a force in the secondary. Tyler Loop is holding it down in the kicking game. Teddy Buchanan's logging real snaps on defense. And Moore pointed out that these aren't just spot duty appearances. These guys are out there in critical moments, on special teams and on defense, against top competition. In fact, through the first few weeks, the Ravens are facing a murderer's row of opponents. Division winners, primetime games, battle-tested squads. And these rookies? They're holding their own. They're not just surviving, they're thriving. That speaks volumes about Baltimore's scouting and development process. Moore gave credit to the front office, Eric DeCosta and his team, for consistently drafting guys who play like Ravens. What does that mean? Physical, tough, high motor, smart, selfless. That identity shows up in every phase of the game. And when you're plugging rookies into key roles early in the season and not seeing a drop-off, that's a big deal. That's how depth gets built. That's how championship-caliber teams sustain success over a full 17-game season. Now let's go back to that Cleveland game for a second, because while Lamar's heroics and the defense's rebound grabbed headlines, the special teams unit might have had its best showing in years. Moore talked about that blocked punt by Jake Mell, Not only was it textbook execution, it came at a crucial moment when the Ravens needed a momentum swing. Moore said Jake came off the field after the first punt and told the guys, "I'm going to get it next time." Sure enough, he went back out there, beat the personal protector, and got that huge block. It was a turning point in the game, a jolt of energy, and a perfect example of how special teams can flip the field and flip a game. And of course, Tyler Loop, the rookie kicker, continues to show poise beyond his years. Moore and the rest of the team understand that adjusting to the NFL's new kickoff rules is no small task, especially for a guy just a few games into his career. But the trust is there. The technique is improving every week. And the standard? Well, in Baltimore, that's sky high, because special teams aren't an afterthought. They're a core part of the Ravens' identity. From Harbaugh on down, there's an expectation of excellence. And so far, that unit is delivering. But it's not just the rookies or the special teamers stepping up. Veterans are making statements, too. DeAndre Hopkins? Still very much elite. The guy is out here silencing all the doubters, making clutch grabs, scoring touchdowns, and proving he's far from done. Moore even joked that it's funny people are surprised by what DeAndre is doing, like we all forgot he used to be that guy. Still is, by the way. In practices, in games, in meetings, his hands, his presence, his football IQ, all top tier. And then there's Tez Walker, who might just be the breakout story of this Ravens offense. Every single one of his first 3 catches in the NFL went for touchdowns, and Moore confirmed the buzz. This guy is fast. Like, track fast. World-class speed. The kind of burner who can take the top off a defense at any moment. And when Zay Flowers, Lamar's top target, gets blanketed like he did against Cleveland, guys like Tez and DeAndre step up. Tez's second touchdown? Pure speed. Just flat-out outrunning the defender. It's what makes this Ravens receiving core so dangerous. They can beat you in so many different ways. Zay with his route running. DeAndre with his hands and physicality. Tez with his speed. Throw in Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman, Isaiah Likely when he returns, and this unit is loaded with weapons. So while the season is still young, what we're seeing from the Ravens right now is a team that's resilient, battle-tested, and balanced in all 3 phases. They've got one of the best quarterbacks in the league playing at an MVP level, a defense that's adjusting, evolving, and making plays, special teams that are turning games around, and a rookie class that's not just filling gaps, they're making plays that matter. And if they keep building off this momentum, Baltimore could be in for a very special season. While the Ravens' win over Cleveland served as a statement game, it also highlighted something that often goes unnoticed outside the locker room, the next man up mentality that keeps this team dangerous no matter who's missing from the lineup. One of the names that came up quickly in that conversation was Patrick Ricard. The veteran fullback has yet to take the field this season, with John Harbaugh admitting that the recovery process hasn't been as quick as they'd hoped. It's frustrating for Ricard, no doubt. Nobody wants to be out there more than him. But while the team waits for him to return, it's given an opportunity to someone else to shine, Zaire Mitchell-Payton. Nick Moore didn't hesitate to praise Zaire, a guy who's been grinding behind the scenes since last season, working on scout teams, showing up early, staying late, doing everything he can to earn a shot. And when that moment finally came, when the coaching staff asked him to step into a fullback role that he hadn't played much since his college days, he didn't blink. He didn't hesitate. He just said, "Tell me what to do." That response alone tells you everything about the kind of player Zaire is. And then he went out there and backed it up with his play. Moore said Zaire was physical, smart, disciplined, and most importantly, dependable. Whether it was laying blocks or contributing on special teams, he made his presence felt in both Week 1 and Week 2. That willingness to adapt, to sacrifice, to do whatever the team needs. That's what earns you respect in the Ravens locker room. And Moore, having faced Zaire in practice for over a year, knows exactly how much work went into this moment. Zaire has been chopping wood, as they say at Georgia, showing up, doing the dirty work, not seeking attention, but always being ready. And now he's finally getting his due. Same goes for Charlie Kolar. The young tight end is another guy who stepped into a larger role due to Isaiah Likely's absence. And much like Zaire, he's done so without missing a beat. Moore compared Kolar to Nick Boyle, a guy who's a true blocking tight end, but also sneaky effective in the passing game and a major asset on special teams. What sets Charlie apart is how smart he is. His football IQ is off the charts. He knows the playbook. He knows his role. He knows what everyone else is supposed to be doing. And that kind of player, one who makes the people around him better, is invaluable over the course of a long season. Another name that drew high praise from Moore was TJ Tampa. And if you watched the game, you probably noticed him too. Moore mentioned how Tampa has already shown up big on special teams, but his performance on defense this week jumped off the screen. Whether it was breaking on routes, playing physical at the line of scrimmage, or simply sticking with receivers in space, Tampa looked like a guy who belongs. And here's the thing, that's not an accident. Moore pointed out how TJ has made a massive leap from his rookie year to now. That kind of development only happens when a player commits to getting better, takes coaching seriously, and attacks the offseason with a purpose. It's the kind of growth that shows you a player isn't just here to fill a jersey. He's here to make a real impact. And all of this ties back into the idea that the Ravens aren't just deep, they're deep behind their depth. When one guy goes down, the next man up isn't just a warm body. He's prepared, he's trained, he's hungry. That doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of culture. It's the result of leadership, from the coaching staff to the veteran players. It's what makes a good team great. And in a season as grueling as the NFL's, where injuries are guaranteed and adversity is constant, it's those unsung players, the Zaires, the Charlies, the TJs, who end up tipping the balance in close games and playoff pushes. Moore talked about it too, the fact that Baltimore isn't easing into the season. There's no soft start, no easy schedule. Their first 4 games include 3 primetime matchups, and 5 of their first 6 opponents are division winners. That's trial by fire, plain and simple. But it's also a massive opportunity. Because if this team can stack wins in this early stretch, they're going to be battle-tested and mentally tough come November and December when the games really start to matter. And Moore said it with confidence. This team is ready for that challenge. Now, special teams, it's often overlooked by fans, but inside the building, it's treated like gold, especially in Baltimore. And Moore, as the long snapper, is at the center of it. The pride he takes in the unit is obvious, and it makes sense. Special teams have always been a cornerstone of the Ravens' success, dating back to the Harbaugh era. Harbaugh himself is a former special teams coach, so you better believe he holds that group to the highest standard. That's not just talk, it shows up on the field. The blocked punt against Cleveland? That wasn't luck. That was film study, coaching, and execution. Moore talked about Jake Mell's confidence before the block, how he came to the sideline after the first punt and said, "I was this close. I'm going to get it." That kind of mindset, that obsession with the details, that's what creates big moments. And when he finally broke through and got his hands on the ball, the energy shifted instantly. It gave the Ravens a short field, led directly to a touchdown, and slammed the door on any momentum Cleveland might have been building. Then there's the kickoffs. With the new rules in play, it's become a chess match. Kick too deep, and it's an automatic touchback at the 35. Kick too short, and risk giving up field position if your coverage team slips. Moore acknowledged that this is a work in progress, especially for rookie kicker Tyler Loop, who's still adjusting to the NFL game. But the potential is obvious. Loop's got the leg. He's got the mindset. And as Moore explained, this is only his second real game in this environment. Once he figures out the timing, the angle, the exact strike zone on that ball, he's going to turn this new rule into an advantage. And that's what separates good teams from great ones. They adapt faster. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support keeps us bringing you the latest news on the Baltimore Ravens. And hey, drop your take in the comments below. We want to hear from the flock. The NFL world is buzzing today with a report that could shake the AFC North to its core. Sources close to the Baltimore Ravens hint at a blockbuster addition to their aerial attack, wide receiver Jakobi MEYERS. While nothing is officially signed, team insiders suggest that the Ravens are exploring every angle to bring MEYERS into their dynamic offense, a move that would send shockwaves across the league. MEYERS, known for his sharp route running, reliable hands, and ability to create separation even against top-tier corners, has been on the radar of multiple teams this offseason. But whispers in Baltimore point to a strong mutual interest, fueled by the Ravens' need to expand their passing arsenal. Lamar Jackson, whose dual-threat capabilities often dominate headlines, could find in Meyers a dependable target to stretch defenses vertically and horizontally, opening up opportunities both for his arm and legs. The timing of this rumor is intriguing. Baltimore's offense, while electric, has at times been criticized for lacking depth in the receiving core beyond its primary stars. Analysts argue that a player like Meyers could bring balance, offering Jackson a versatile weapon capable of turning medium gains into explosive plays. Sources close to the team suggest that front office strategists are already picturing game plans featuring Meyers running crisp patterns alongside the likes of Mark Andrews and Rashad Bateman, a combination that could make Ravens opponents think twice before stacking the box. Fans have taken to social media, speculating how Meyers' addition might impact fantasy football rankings and weekly matchups. Jerseys are being imagined, highlight reels replayed, and the excitement is palpable, even if the deal remains unofficial. In typical NFL fashion, a confirmation could come at any moment, or it might remain a tantalizing rumor, fueling debate and anticipation. Either way, Baltimore appears determined to make a statement this season, and if Meyers does join the roster, the Ravens' passing attack might just become one of the most feared in the league. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with exclusive news on our Baltimore Ravens, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what the flock thinks. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.